Even though the market is quite bad right now, yet cryptocurrencies is making more and more of an impact on everyday life. I know people who don't know much about cryptocurrencies would be quite surprised to hear this, that 45% of the people who could vote in the United States have an opinion about cryptocurrencies, and their opinion is quite sturdy, quite firm. As per polls, 40 million Americans own cryptocurrencies and they are pretty serious about it. You may or may not be surprised to hear this, depending upon how strongly you support or you oppose cryptocurrencies. But there is an increasing number of voters who do actually care as much about crypto policy as they do care about inflation and other big news stories. And a lot of voters are actually buying cryptos to protect themselves from inflation. Nevertheless, when it comes to crypto regulations, investors don't think the midterms will have much of an effect, because most of the recent efforts to regulate digital assets, just like cryptocurrencies, have come from both parties. Needless to say, it's pretty clear that crypto is the future of money, which is important to every American. The average person cares more about this issue than you might think. Voters, the younger generations like millennials and Generation Z, as opposed to baby boomers, have more interest in cryptos, and their interest comes from a simple and very obvious point of positive views of technology. And the interesting fact is that the voters are very pro-technology and pro-innovation. They might not know the details of crypto legislation or tech legislation in general, but they have a pretty good idea of what policy thinking would look like if it moved in the direction of embracing technology and innovation, similar to Bitcoin and blockchain. Now, there is a non-profit organization called Engage. The goal of Engage is to get more and more people involved in the political process. And guess how did Engage raise money for 16 of their candidates? That's right, in cryptocurrencies, because these 16 candidates support cryptocurrency as one of its many activities. Now, I will share a very, very interesting fact with you guys to show how much the US government believes in Bitcoin. Whether they accept it or not, whether they like it or not, they know Bitcoin is worth every penny. The US government has over $4.4 billion in Bitcoin. Yesterday, which was 7th of November, the Department of Justice, DOJ, said that in November 2021, it seized a little more than 50,676.17 Bitcoin from a Bitcoin trader named James Zhong. At today's prices, this is worth about $1 billion US. Now, Zhong got the money by scamming the dark web marketplace called Silk Road in September 2012 by taking advantage of the site's withdrawal system. He pleaded guilty to one count of wire fraud last week on 4th of November 2022. The timing seemed just perfect right before midterms. Anyways, in addition to the 50,676 Bitcoin it took from Zhong, the US government has already gotten at least 163,370 Bitcoin in last 2 years, 214,046 Bitcoin, or at least $4.43 billion US. In November 2020, the DOJ took 69,370 Bitcoin worth more than $1.4 billion today from individual X, a user of Silk Road, who was known to the public by that name. At the time, this was the fourth largest Bitcoin address on the network. Now, the seizure made the US government one of the biggest Bitcoin whales in the world. The agency also took over 94,000 Bitcoin from Heather, Razel Khan, Morgan, and Ilya, who they said were trying to hide money from the famous 2016 hack of the cryptocurrency exchange called Bitfinex. At the time, the amount was worth $3.6 billion US. It is now worth more than $1.9 billion US. Moral of the story, the US government is a huge Bitcoin whale because it owns 214,046 Bitcoin. BitInfo chart says that only one Bitcoin wallet, which is called Binance's cold storage wallet, has a larger amount, which is 252,597 Bitcoin. These ones belong to Binance's customers and not to the exchange itself. So what are we looking into? Today is the US midterm election day, and all 435 House seats and 35 of the 100 Senate seats are up for grabs. If history is of an indication, The stock market has done better in the past after the midterm elections. Some investors think that the crypto will also go up after the election since there is a high correlation between Bitcoin and major stock indexes. However, the variables of this midterm election and previous ones are different. I have some detailed content on this argument. Do watch it, link is on top right of your screen. Many people are hoping that if Republicans win the election, it will be easier for other states to follow the lead of Texas, which has welcomed Bitcoin miners as a way to keep their energy grid stable during the bad weather. If Democrats win more seats in Congress, this could be a problem for many industries since Bitcoin mining has the potential to make energy use more efficient, unlike contrary thoughts. When it comes to voting decision, a recent survey found that 38% of the eligible voters will think about candidates' position on crypto in the upcoming midterm elections. This could be why so many people are already thinking about it. In another survey, 87% of Democratic respondents and 76% of Republican respondents said they want more information on digital assets from the US government. So today, which is 8th of November, all 435 members of the House of Representatives and 34 of the 100 Senate seats will be chosen by the people of the United States. The result will decide how power is distributed in Washington and could have an impact on the crypto industry. People who are interested in cryptocurrencies might be happy if the Republicans has a majority in either chamber. Republicans have often been some of their strongest supporters, and they may try harder to pass the bills that many people in the industry have been asking for. A Republican-controlled Congress will probably also put pressure on the agencies like the SEC, which is in charge of the crypto industry, through enforcement to be less harsh on the crypto companies. Leave me a comment, as I always enjoy reading your comments and replying to you guys. Do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.